I've had so much trouble making videos today, but it's fine. We're going to talk about the future and my plans for my future and people's thoughts on it. Gonna talk about adults, gonna talk about creative fields. Okay, so y'all, if you don't know, I really like art. You can look at my art on my Instagram. I don't have any in here. I'm just gonna show you. Okay, if you want to find more of it, you can go on my Instagram, Sharky, but shark. It's like shark, and then another K, and then Y, and then kid. You can go there, or you can buy my art on my Etsy. It's Lemon Shark Artwork. No spaces. Anyways, I love making art. It's something that means a lot to me. I don't like this painting just because I like the top half, and I feel like it's kind of weak right here because there's not a lot of contrast. Anyway, I really love making art, and it's something that means a lot to me, and it's something that I want to do for the rest of my life. But right now is the time where a lot of people are deciding what they're gonna do, and I am deciding that I would love to be an artist, but not as my only job, and definitely not. And I also don't want to go to art school, and it's so tempting to like daydream about going to art school. Like, that sounds so nice to just do nothing but art all day, every day. Oh my god. But art schools are so expensive, and a lot of them don't really help you with your career. And they just kind of teach you how to do stuff. They don't connect you to galleries or tell you how to market your art or anything. Some do, but and now more schools are doing that. But yeah, I don't really want to go to art school, and that was kind of always the plan. And then I had an epiphany during science class. And I also love science. If you haven't seen my other videos, I love science. I don't really have any like evidence, but I like bones. So I was in science class, and I was like writing. I was like, okay, like after the food's in the stomach and the pepsin breaks down the proteins, it goes through the lower stomach sphincter. I was like, I love science. I can't go to art school. I just can't. Like, it just would not work. It's just, I just can't only do art. And as tempting as it is to go to art school, I realized I really could not do it. So I'm not going to art school, and I'm probably gonna study both art and science in college because I do really like both. But I still, what am I talking about? I have some issues with science and art as career paths. Okay, before I get into what I was gonna say, I feel kind of silly like saying that I don't like art. I don't want to go to art school because I feel like I should just go to art school and then be in a bad situation and be like, oh, oops, I was dumb, and I should learn. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I should have like that kind of learning experience. But yeah, I don't want to go to art school. And the other thing is this chunk of hair just is like sticking up. I feel like so many adults have like so many opinions on like my, like what I want, like what I feel about my future and like my ideas for my future, and they're like, oh, you'll be fine. Like, oh, like you can't, like you shouldn't do this. And me, like, I know they're like smart and they like know more, but also I kind of just want to do my own, like I just want to do it. I don't really want 12 million people telling me their opinions. Like, I volunteer with a lot of like old people because it's volunteering. It's one of the few places where there's teenagers, old people, and ex-convicts all together. It's great. And they're always like, oh, like, you don't, like, if you go to college, like, you have to do this, like, you have to plan all your visits, like, you have to get, you have to be taking 12 million AP classes. Like, no, I don't care. I can figure it out on my own. And, there's not one right way to do anything. There's really not. So you can leave me alone. And maybe I'm just being silly and, like, they are helpful, but I just don't really want to hear it. Because it's annoying. Also, this is a side note, but I'm so sick of men. In general, not all of them, just in general, because they don't listen to me. They don't. Oftentimes, they talk over me when I work, so I work at an aquarium, right? And I tell people about the fish and the sea stars and the sharks, and they always talk over me and act like they know more than me. Like, no, I'm the one who took a marine bio class and did 20 hours of training and researched stuff on my own time. You just tide pooled once. Like, I know more than you. Why are you talking over me? So yeah, men will, not that, like, I don't like any men, or, like, men are all terrible. Like, I know that's not true. It's just there's so many that are just, I just would be fine not knowing. You know what I mean? Yeah, back to creative fields. Okay, creative fields, like art. Everyone talks about art and how it's not a good career path, and, like, it's unstable, and, like, starving artists, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, people are like, well, like, you could still be an artist, like, you're gonna be fine, you just have to be good enough. Like, no. Even if you're good enough, you're still gonna have an unstable income. You're not gonna have, like, benefits. You're always gonna be working. You're, like, gonna be putting your heart and your soul into everything you do. And, like, people make fun of art, like, modern art, for being kind of silly and then getting sold for a lot, but, like, it's so hard making art, so I don't really blame artists. I mean, there's cases where, like, it's like, you didn't really do anything, but I'm not getting into that. Yeah, and everyone talks shit about artists, how, like, they're poor and they can't afford anything, and it's like, oh, well, partly it's just because no one wants to buy your stuff, and because art supplies are just too freaking expensive. But also, it's not like generally we think of science as, like, a good, respectable, like, field to go into, and it's practical. But, like, if you think about it, and you want to do, like, the fun stuff, like, be, like, a researcher, you're gonna spend your whole life looking for, places to give you grants and give you money to do your research and fund you, and it's going to be super unstable, and you're never going to have, like, a stable income unless you become a teacher or something. And that doesn't sound that different from art. I don't know why I'm getting so angry. Well, I know I'm getting angry, but I don't know why I'm suddenly getting angry. Anyway, people think, they seem to act, at least, like art is, it's not a great career choice, but, like, oh, art's fun. But science is, like, respectable. But, I mean, your job outcomes, both, like, whichever way you go, it's kind of whack. I don't like looking at myself. I'm so animated. So, anyway, I think it's because they're both creative fields. They are both, if you're a scientist and you're doing, like, research, you gotta think of, like, creative things. If you're an artist, that's clearly creative. I think creative fields just generally are not good for jobs. And I think that really sucks, because there's so many good creative people out there who should be rich. I don't mean, like, Jeff freaking Bezos. I mean, people should tax the rich. I'm so angry. I've never been this angry in a YouTube video. I've been this angry before. People have seen me this angry, but I've never been this angry on my YouTube channel. Anyway, creative fields suck. Follow my Instagram. Subscribe. tune in next week